My next topic I was assigned is DIY your props. Now what's DIY? Do it yourself. What component of this hobby can you completely outsource 100%? Sure be sequencing. But will Clyde come to your house and load it in your X-Lines for you? Okay. He never, ever offered that to me. He gave me consulting, he gave me pickup. Okay, but my point is, that's great. Has Clyde ever built you a prop? And no, an actual prop. Okay, good. Okay, I didn't think he would. Rob may have it. If you want a business and you want to spend big bucks, they will come and do everything for you. My point is, do it yourself is every one of us. There can't be a right answer to that because it is yours. Joel said it's yours. Someone pushed these wonderful pixels in every one of these. Okay? Thanks, nice job, Drew or Dane. Dane, I think, may have done that. So Dane did a few of these. And so you get to decide what you want to build. You get to decide how you build it. And like me, even if it's wrong, I made that decision. And so my job, of course, is copying someone is the greatest form of flattery. And I flatter a lot of people. So we're going to talk about make, build, or buy your props. We're going to talk about the Drew presentation and tools that's coming up soon. Keys to your build and be safe out there. Okay? So do it yourself. So I look at it from a structure perspective. And then you attach it to your house or the ground. You've got to have pixels installed. You've got to run power and data to make them blinky, right? Remember, I'm going fast today. These are just examples of how I get in the house, in the basement, or my bedroom, and build things, garage. And so the first one is, I want to talk about this wonderful, very, very technically accurate, awesome window display that I happen to have built. Oh, great. I'm going to undo the entire presentation here. I'm not careful. Okay, so what's this made out of? What color is it? Guess what color my house is? The trim is gray. And this is extremely technical. You can be very careful in building these, okay? Because you need to know at what corner you start. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. Call Clyde. Okay? And then you don't know what direction you go around. Okay? And that's really hard because the mail-in is always in for me. So the mail-in starts, that's pixel 1, and you go up and over, and you put it in X-slides, height and width. Pretty easy, right? And so, what I like to do, this is the wrong slide, but I'll get to it, is there's a way to, that's really nice. Now, how do I attach it to my house? That's your question. You get to make that decision. How do I attach it to my house? Well, there are clips and hangers. I'm just going to move around. Top right corner is Holiday Coro and the other vendors sell these little C-clips. Okay? And I just drill right through them. Yes, well, there's a broken one. Here we go. You just drill right through them into the PVC. That's a C-clip right there. Okay? And my ingenious, I thought I was the one, I found out not the only one. Okay, this is the width of my window. I got the C-clip. I put a curtain rod, brick to brick. On the top and the bottom, I C-clip into the curtain rod, and I put a zip tie, and it stays up no matter what the wind is. That's doing it yourself. Top left, Jim Price. He built his own, press a button and listen to the music while you watch the display outside, not in your car. Next to him, Jeff up in, Jeff Plainfield. Those are plastic solo cups. So I went and visited the display last year. I took a picture, plastic solo cups, and there are lights all in them, and he made them to where they do pixels. That's do it your own stuff. Top right, middle, all those snowflakes. And in the middle, you can't see very well, I'm sorry, about right there, well, I can't see my mouse here, is a Joel Deering wreath. You can't really see it, sorry, but he made all the wreath out of wire of some kind. Joel, you made it out of wire of some kind. What kind of wire?
I bought the wreath from the guards and stripped off the lights and put it on next to it.
DIY. That's the best way to do it. Buy it and then redo it. Bottom right, Joel Deering, this is critical. Don't tell anybody I told you this. This is a total secret. Besides Joel, someone guess to what this chain is in this picture up here. What is that chain right there? Somebody guess. You see the chain? This is highly technical. Les Nessman Willis doesn't even know about this. Bottom right, what kind of chain is that? No, sorry, you know, Drew. Someone take a guess. Take a wild guess what kind of chain that is. Dog chain, close, but no answer. You use it every single solitary day.
Toilet chain.
Toilet chain. It's DIY. So, ever broken, Joel? Ever broken?
No.
No, so there you go.
And what I like about it is
What's that? It only breaks it in the toilet. It doesn't break it in the Christmas lights.
what I like about it is you can bend it with a pair of those pliers and make those
There you go.
rods any length you want.
Bottom left, PVC and that connection is your friend. I think everybody see that wreath over there? That's Drew Emsworth wreath. He has a nice PVC frame that he utilizes in the yard, and he connects it and it holds the prop up in the angle you want to go. Okay. I showed you the one that's red and black and white. That's my new 47-inch snowflake. I chose to have those 3D printed, but you can do it yourself. You can buy a little 3D printer if you wish. Somebody raise your hand if you have a 3D printer at home. One, two, oh, look at this. Don't be bashful, okay? Because I can't wait to buy one. But anyway, so you can 3D print your own. Jim Price is telling me all about that. And then you can attach it to your props a certain way, and then it can actually be maybe on EMT and apply it to your house, okay? That's DIY. Think about how you do it, and all has your budget to go. Bottom right, in the middle, that is Joel, our friend Joel. He actually has, in his office, a sheet up, and a projector shows him the sheet, and that's where you see Santa Claus and the reindeer. This is a little bit crazy. I didn't bring a piece, I missed it. So I decided that I have this wonderful outline of my house, but there's this big negative space, they call it in sequencing, black. It was my roof. So let's put some lights up there. So I first designed it using Google Earth, thank you. That was within about 1 foot to 2 accuracy sometimes. I don't know if this way I drew the line and you measure it, it tells you the measurement, you see right there how many feet that is. And of course, then I went and bought I just bought PVC, painted it black, put a Boscorio strip on it, or GE, and I zip tied it, and I put it up there. And you know, it works pretty good. It does begin to move with wind, ice, birds, everything else. But anyway, how do you get up there? This is a serious comment. We got to be careful out there, because there are people who get up on the roofs, 2 stories, and they have fell. So be careful. It's expensive. DIY. That is my son, Larry Calvert. Oh, he's chasing the sun now. He's up there on top of that 50-foot boom. So we put it up there, and then later I had to have some roofers come and adjust things for me because they have, you know, things to get up on me. Bottom right is somehow you got to figure out how to put your power and your data, usually in the form of a smart receiver. And I've actually now taken out that bullet box you buy at Harbor Freight, and I actually bought an actual more square rectangular box, and I'm going to attach it underneath it, make it clean it up. Okay. Vertical matrix for your house. There's lots of videos out there. Again, you can use EMT or PVC, make it a small frame, mount that to it, and then you can apply it to your house. These C-clips are good for that as well. Mine are permanently on the house. I'm one that, while my house is fairly new, I said, okay, holes, and I'll spray foam in it, and I'll paint it, make sure you can't see it. So, don't tell my wife that there's holes in her house. And then lastly, on this slide, someone said, make your own snowflake. I said, oh, I can do that. Anybody know what this is?
Coat hangers.
Yes, that's a snowflake. This is the #1 prize given away at the end of the day. Okay, we'll put everyone's name back in the green bucket. You possibly could win this. So if it was 5 volts and you got to know the pattern, put on your pixels. This prop alone could cost you about $18 with pixels. So that's the way you get into it cheap, okay? They're doing a great job. Pinterest is your answer here. Go to Pinterest, because as you can see, I didn't do a very good job. But you can make it. DIY anything you want to do in this hobby. Ping pong table helps. All right, now, this is audience participation, okay? What are your best ways that you like to attach things to a brick home? Hurry, give me an answer. Brick homes. Huh?
Brick clips.
Brick clips. Okay, they clip the brick. They stay pretty good. Okay, good answer. Anybody have that? How many of you taken a drill bit into the mortar between bricks? Yeah, yes. A little drum in there, a little barrel, and you screw into the barrel. They don't move no matter what. I have a 1,000 pixel matrix that goes into a huge window. Just in the mortar. Now you got that?
Were you there when Kyle Bostic talked about his chimney? Were you there at the Michigan meeting when he talked about his chimney?
I did.
Relate to them what he said.
I don't remember, really don't.
Oh, he tried to attach a prop to his chimney and he thought it'd be really strong.
Oh.
You remember that? It wasn't strong.
So he did that in his mortar of his chimney, but then it was Merry Christmas, or was it a Santa Claus and reindeer? Santa Claus and reindeer. It would be hell for a couple months, and then he didn't know it, but the chimney wasn't very well, and the chimney fell. Luckily, to where he could fix it himself, but it fell over, and it's older home. I mean, come on. So be careful what you do, right? But if you're smart about it, it's pretty good. Window attachments. Who does this kind of window attachment? There's 4. Oh, there's a couple of us. Okay. Give me another way to do windows.
I've got mounts that go in. You take the screen out, and then you put the bottom rail in, and then you can flip it to the top, so it just uses the place for the screen.
Awesome. Somebody else?
The J channel.
Somebody said J channel?
No.
J channel?
Yes.
Awesome. You drilled your holes in 2 inch or 1 inch that you want spacing, right?
3 inch.
Awesome. 3 inch.
I tried 2 ways.
2 ways.
I got those 3M clips, got aluminum clip wrap.
Yes.
Those. Put the 3M clips on there, zip tied it, look great, until they don't hold on aluminum.
Don't hold on aluminum.
So
Okay.
I ended up
Cool.
taking
Cool.
he took a rivet and tied a piece of ribbon across the top rail on both corners, bottom rail across the open the double hung window, pull the top ribbon through, close the window, tight knot, so they're not coming off. Because in the middle of the night, you just fall off your bedroom, big noise inside the house, your wife knows that.
Good job. Thank you. Horizontal, I went permanent. So in 3 years, I haven't touched all my horizontals or my gables. Now this is expensive, but this is expensive. So what it does, this was Permatrack, and now 3 or 4 vendors have their own. Holiday Coro has some, Matos. I'm sure that they all do, okay? So it's like an aluminum material. We spray painted it to match the trim, and it looked pretty good, but it does come off as you're installing your pixels. Now, there's a small, I call it a slide, I don't know if that's what it's called, that you screw a couple of screws in, and then you can either slide into, or most likely you have to bend into, spin it, get in there, and then that holds up All my verticals. So my entire 3 sides of my house have this. Pretty good, Clyde? Pretty good? Okay. And so I want to say something about that he likes about it. Anyway, so you install them. The thing is not much fun is that the barrels of your connectors, of course you'll have X-Connect, or it says wires, doesn't matter, or remove. It does get bunched up in here a little bit. So think about that. Some people like to take a section. This is cut. No. So, and they like male in, female out, and just have a bunch of these, and you just plug them up. And you've got to find a way to connect that, get that hidden. But it stays up. And so, do I have a picture of my house? I've lost 0 pixels in 3 years. Don't jinx me. But so all those horizontals and my gables left and right are these, and down the right side of the house. So that's one way of doing it for DIY props. Am I done time-wise? No? I want to get done early. Oh, Drew's going to talk about this later, but see that blue thing? That is awesome. I never used, I don't think, a zip tie maybe a couple times in my entire life. I started. So that, when you, it pulls it tight. I know most of you guys want to do yourself a ponytail, but and there's an application not to use those because it will snap off certain things. So you got to have that kind of tool. There's many other tools in the trade, to say the least.
There's a good quality client that will self-cut also.
Yeah, there's a self-cutting now, zip tie. You need 4-inch, 8-inch, 6-inch black, white.
Harbor Freight's got one that you can adjust the tension on it so that you don't over-tighten it and it cuts it.
And there's now coming a little tab, you press it, you can undo it and reuse it. That's a lot of fun. Okay, I think that's anybody got, okay, anybody got, okay. Data wiring. How many have put Cat 5 across your attic? Okay, there's 5 of us. Okay, we'll meet afterwards. We need some support. Because at some point, you've got to get data from one side to another, correct? And so, what I have found is that, I'll show you a picture on the right side of my house has a smart receiver up at the top, so it has to have a wire that goes all the way through my attic to the very back, leak real good, and it goes out to the front and the back of my garage. In my garage, I'm a nerd, I have a computer cage, and it has my main controller, my Raspberry Pi, my FM transmitter, and a whole bunch of extensions go up 3-inch pipe into the attic, and then spread across the house. DIY, be careful. Kyle Bosick of BF Lights and RGB has a phenomenal video on building EMT, and he bends it around and it holds his snowflakes and his bats, all kinds of on the shingles of his house. My shingles are now 18 years old. I tried, I thought, oh God, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. Didn't work on my 12,000 degree pitch so high. I couldn't get there, but it works well, especially if you have a roof line that's not quite so steep. So, do it yourself. This is my favorite. I built this dude last year just for fun, and I modified and used the carabiners to attach it to the old topper. And the bottom, I just had it's a pipe that goes in my attic. I don't know what it is. It's a flexible 2-inch drainage pipe, I think, for irrigation. Just it's up there, and it works for my big tree, which is 10-foot diameter. This is like 6, 8, and so and then you just throw them together. Put 2-inch spacing, 1-inch spacing. You notice a video now that if you're 2 and you want to go 1, you can just put them in every other hole, and you reprogram it next time. Boom, you got 1-inch spacing. So there we go. I think I'm about done. Questions, comments, or answers?
About 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll get done early. So I want to give you one more example of DIY that you love in this hobby, that you use regularly. It works. Go ahead, Greg. Dane? Okay. Anybody? Say it one more time. Next netting out of Home Depot or Menards?
Lowe's.
Lowe's. Yes.
Home Depot